time for more Pokemon Sword. We are almost done with this, I think. At least for now. I'll come back for the DLC some other time, but I just want to get through the main campaign here. And once we do that, we can play something different. I don't know what it'll be yet, but it'll be something. Here, let me adjust this microphone. There we go. That's better. And she looks like the same generic NPC who's half asleep for all the other scientists too. So, meh. I can't tell who that is. Which, to be fair, this late in, introducing a new person for like 5 seconds would probably be a little odd. Ah, so they're full of Minovsky particles. I see. They just seem to be kind of clowns. Clown royalty, I guess. I don't know. Ah, yes, this is how technology actually works. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's a... I can't fly the... What? So... They really made me scroll around that? That's weird. They can't just, like, show that on a cutscene? Well, I guess there's part of me that's like, that might use new graphical assets, and that would be a little too much to ask from them. Come to think of it... What am I thinking? Sheesh. I am completely losing my marbles in that case. Like, yeesh. Alright, well, everything seems to be normal so far, so... Hey, do you guys know what's up? Yep. Oh, it sounds like it's still being a problem. Well, at least this kid is doing something useful. Quit your complaining, Hop. Well, we're going in here with Excadrill, even though that's probably theoretically not the best choice, but it'll be fine. These fights, if I recall correctly, are extremely easy. Like, as long as you're on the level, and again, Excadrill is still in hard carry level, so... I think we'll probably be okay. Hopefully. Although it is this thing, which is a creature that exists for some reason. So yeah, they sort of make you do, like, mini raids in this part. Not anything we haven't seen before, so I guess it's probably a good thing that we did a couple of random raids and got our head handed to us a couple of times and all of that. But also, this Pokemon didn't show up at all in this entire gym. Not any form of it, so... That's odd. Well, somewhat odd. Gotta be careful not to say odd-ish, because that's, well, a whole other really bad joke. Also, speaking of which, Milo's out here with a Flapple, which is a Pokemon that I've never seen him use. Unless it's something that shows up. The finalist tournament is not randomized in any way, is it? I'm pretty sure it isn't, so that'd be weird. I don't know, maybe it's just something that's there's no other way to see in his team. Whatever. Shrug. But yeah, we're not allowed to catch those Pokemon. I mean, we've seen this thing going on before, so like, Well, we got his, oh right, Rare League card, that's a thing. So we can have more information about these gym leaders that we don't care much about. Oh, it's these guys again. And Piers is just like, what the fuck is going on here? Also, this guy talking about these folks being rude little punks when that's like his entire vibe. Wow, they're splendidly. Oh my god. These guys are incredibly silly. You know, they're just creating the Darkest Day again because of reasons. To, you know, something that doesn't make any sense again. Wow, a plot point in this game that doesn't make sense. Who could have foreseen such a thing? Alright, so we gotta go and deal with things over at the other stadiums. Stadia. Not to be confused with that horrible Google shit. Oh god. Alright, so we'll deal with this, and I think this one might be a Dreadnought, but I don't recall for sure. I'm sure she could take care of this all on her own, but, like, hey, this is what they're making us do. So, okay. Regardless, I have a reasonable... Oh, it's a Gyarados. That's... We can deal with that anyway because we have Rock Slide. I mean, it sucks that we're getting debuffed a little bit. But I see the game doesn't want us to have fun as usual. It's trying real hard to make sure that we have difficulty with that. Also, somehow we haven't fought a Gyarados up to this point. Somebody set Rain. Wow. What a choice. But hey, we just erased that with Sandstorm. I don't know, Hop, if you considered using an actual attacking move on that thing, that might be a good help. Throat Chop, unfortunately, will not disable anything from it, but hey, it's the thought that counts. And this should take it out. Yep. If it weren't for that Intimidate, we would probably be able to one-shot it. And actually, if we had an electric attack anywhere on the team, we'd be able to one-shot it, but eh. We've already been over that part. Hey, ball guy. Nobody is, dog? No, it's just a reference to a meme, but Twitch is rude and won't let me put the whole phrase in there uncensored. It's actually another drill joke, come to think of it, now that I realize, oh shit, it's a drill tweet. But the joke here is in reference to Swordbird and Shieldbird, because that's all we're dealing with today. Anyway, we go in here and we fight a third guy, but this is the fire gym, so of course it's going to be a fire type Pokemon, which means that it'll be really easy for us, and I mean, even easier than usual. Meanwhile, this ridiculous old man who could probably do this on his own. This Wedge and Biggs in FF7. I probably did do that, but I don't remember offhand now, so... Let's pretty much say that, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Also, since they only tagged these 3 gyms so far, I'm having this moment of like, I don't remember how long this particular subplot is. It might be quite short. If it is, I'll find something else to kill the rest of the 3 hours, because I don't think it's going to be that short, but still. Because, yeah, I'm going to at least put off the DLC for a little while. Just to, like, you know, get a few other things. You know, do some other stuff, break up the... I'd say break up the monotony, but there was a part of me that's like, I want to go find a 3DS emulator and run a randomizer of one of the 3DS games. But... or just another Pokemon randomizer in general. But either way, I mean, that is... if we were to go do the DLC, that would be quite a lot of this one video game all in one go. That's right. Hop is trying real hard to be some of the previous rivals and is not doing it very well. I'd say maybe if they focus on one personality trait, but I think they kind of did, and it still wasn't very impressive. Inconvenienced, yeah, that's it. Well, wait. No, they say this all the time. It's just... these goons. Unfortunately, the word goon has just become funnier and funnier. And by unfortunately, I mean, well... we're just calling them weirdos. We're giving them the Tim Walz treatment here. And they're coming at us with a double battle, to which I am not suited as on our outset here, because Bronzong has a very high chance at being a levitator, and Golisopod resists Earthquake. So, like, okay, I'd be fine sacrificing Hop's mediocre sheep, but there's a chance that it would be completely unmerited. Personally, I think it would be funnier if they had like the not very smart AI, but whatever. That's just me. Shadowclaw, however, will do some pretty good work against either of these things, really. So I'll go after the Bronzong because that thing's kind of annoying. And I bet Hop is going to target... oh, no, his AI is not being a complete dullard for once. I gotta give credit where it's due. That was an actual strategy that he did. And a bit of Rock Slide will clear the area here. Nice! Gaining some levels even at this point. Yeah, we'll replace Hammer Arm with Superpower. I meant to replace that with Close Combat eons ago, but I didn't. Whoops. Sends in Phalanx. And Swordward is once again sending out Galizapod. And so we Rock Slide. He didn't even First Impression again, despite the fact that it's just free damage. Unfortunately, we do like no damage to the Phalanx because, well, it's fighting type. Unfortunately, we don't get free switches between the opponent's Pokemon during a double battle. Which, I mean, fair, I suppose. Ooh, that's a pretty significant amount of damage. That's quite unfortunate, but thankfully, we're not being so carried that we don't have good Pokemon still. In fact, our entire team is pretty decent. And he's sending out Bisharp. So, truth be told, I probably didn't pick the best Pokemon to send out next, but I'm sure we'll get away with it. Like, yeah, his... Oh, he targeted the... Hop, you dumb son of a... Dude, this is why you can't win a single fucking Pokemon battle, dude. You stupid motherfucker. Oh, I'm disappointed. You deserved to have your Pokemon get one shot there, dog. Like, wow, that was embarrassing. You fucking stooge. Oh my god, you fucking bellend. Holy shit! Yeah, sure, just kill all the things that I actually have any semblance of, like, neutral effectiveness at. Well, time to sit here and jack off for several turns at... What are... What are you doing? Why? Well, maybe you had enough brain to teach this thing body press. Because, unfortunately, the best thing I've got is powering up a really massive power trip here. No, you're just going to use Brave Bird. Okay. Just keep on embarrassing yourself, dude. Oh yeah, now I get to be the one who starts taking all the damage for him. Unfortunately, the AI knows that this guy is an idiot, so... You know, one more boost and that'll be enough, probably. You want to figure out some way to fuck that up now, Hop? You stupid asshole. I just... Good lord, what absolutely pathetic performance there. Yes, here's the random scientist being completely asleep. Oh, I see. She betrayed them entirely. is nobody going to do anything about this? Like... Literally nobody is going to do anything here. Just sit here and watch these guys because they're that stupid. But, you know, nobody thought about locking the door, for example. If nothing else... Right, so now we have to go and deal with all the other... Yeah. Y'all are a bunch of idiots. This whole thing is... This is irritating me quite greatly, and most of it is because of the incredibly shitty AI that I was just dealt with in the fight. Like... Hop, what were you even doing there? Were you thinking, for that matter? And don't worry, I already know the answer. The answer is fucking no. Of course he wasn't. He's not capable of it! Let's go this way first, I guess. Because now the order is just completely open up to us, so... Sure. Oh, hey, here's this goblin. Why? Why can't I just tell him to go fuck himself? Because, like, really, dude? There's kind of actual problems right now. Oh, right, no, everybody here has no brain cells whatsoever. What am I saying? Why am I even acting concerned about it? Like... And of course he's opening with Mawile while I have a physically offensive Pokemon at the front of the party. Which, on the other hand, may not interfere whatsoever, but also it still annoys me greatly. And of course, he's just using the same Pokemon as usual. The same extremely underwhelming Pokemon. Wait, is this thing pure fairy? No, it's fairy psychic. That's... Is it? Because that would explain why it's weak to ghosts and not to ground. I thought that thing was poison for some reason. Which, I think part of why I'm like... Okay, yeah, it's Psychic Fairy. I don't know why I thought it was Poison type. Other than perhaps the fact that that would leave this guy with 3 Pokemon of the same exact type combination for some truly bizarre reason. Anyway, he's complaining. Is he complaining about losing because he's a gym leader? Dude, you exist to lose. That is actually your... You know, ultimately... Anyway. Whatever. It's Bede. Who fucking cares? He just decides to come over here and cause problems. Again. Because that's what he's good at. It's the only thing he's good at. Anyway, forget about biking down to the Pokemon Center over there. Let's just go to this one. This will fly us straight over to a Pokemon Center. Hey, guy. Neat. I'll take that. I don't think it'll come in handy at any point, but why not, right? Let's heal. I'm gonna put off the one at Circhester for a little bit because that will probably be rock type. All right. Onward we go. And what are we dealing with here? A Conkeldurr. And I am completely alone. That admittedly is a little bit of a slightly scary prospect. But I have good damage. I feel like I can get away with this. And if not, I can apply Bird, and that might work. Excuse me. I'm actually not sure if we're allowed to change Pokemon after our main one faints, or if we have to reset, basically. Because I don't remember. Yeah, we didn't get a one-shot, and that's going to be fairly painful. But the thing that I find a little more concerning is if I have to do more attacks, which I shouldn't need to. But just in case... Just in case... Yay! Now we only have a couple more to get. Oh yeah, I could go dig out my Genesis and the power supply and all that stuff and set up Shaq Fu. But I might have to restart OBS for that just because of how the capture card is a pain in the butt sometimes, but it'll probably be fine. Anyway, regardless, a lot of this just depends on how long this is, because I have no idea how long it'll be. Anyway, let's find out what Raihan is up to, and by that I mean probably have to solo target this next thing. Yeah, okay, so we got a 1v1 this Hexorus, which is okay. This is something I can deal with. Oh yeah, well, yeah, that's gonna be a thing that's not happening because, yeah, Switch 2, obviously, we all kind of know about it by now. It's $450 because everything is completely fucked right now. And I'll be honest with you, that's not even the part that I think is the worst. Okay, so consoles are meant as loss leaders. That's how a large part of this industry works. And for those of you who are unaware of the concept for some reason, a loss leader is something that is sold at a loss because you'll be able to profit off of, more or less off of the idea of people owning it. It's sort of a get their foot in the door kind of thing, because obviously Nintendo makes a lot of money off of selling games, and this is true of all of the publishers. So, okay, if the Switch 2 is $450, yes, it's because the global economy is completely fucked because a bunch of monsters run it. And if they have to, have that price in order to have an acceptable loss as opposed to just completely destroying themselves, which, I mean, it's Nintendo. I think they'd be fine if it was 300 still, but, we're not here to discuss that. Anyway, the next part of it, though, is that the games are looking to be quite expensive. Like, that new Donkey Kong game is priced at $80 asterisk, with the new Mario Kart game, the new open world Mario Kart game, because why make something good when you can make something not good, is priced at $90. again, same asterisk that applies to the Donkey Kong game, which that asterisk is that for digital only, they are $10 cheaper each, i.e. Mario Kart World is $80, Donkey Kong, whatever it's called, is $70. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk about that. So, some people have discussed this idea of, well, digital should be cheaper, and I agree with that, but when those are the price points, that's not digital is cheaper, that's physical is more expensive. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that Nintendo could get away with selling these things at $60 fucking the way that they have for a while, because again, it's Nintendo. They will be able to sell these just fine. Again, maybe the problem here ultimately comes down to we should be bringing the costs of producing video games down for these things and, you know, like abolish AAA basically and shit like that, but I digress. Anyway, so, yeah, the price of the Switch 2 console itself is bad, but I get it. But on the other hand, the price of the games I consider to be offensive. And the thing is that there's also going to be some people who are like, oh, well, the price has remained the same since blah, blah, blah. No, the fuck it has not. The price of everything else has gone up, and wages have not met them. Therefore, proportionally speaking, the price of video games has gone up because it's a larger cut of your disposable income. I'd ask, how is this so hard to get? But, I mean, look at the internet. People are not smart. So, basically, yeah, unless this group of folks wants to bankroll getting me a Switch 2, the odds of me getting one anytime before, I don't know, 2027 are basically fuck and all. Even if it's offered as a gift, I'll just be like, no, just give me money. I'll get something that I would enjoy more proportionally to that cost. Anyway, there was a fight here and it's gone now. So, yeah, fuck the video game industry. I hope it collapses again. Oh, also, the Switch 2's battery life is going to be even less than the regular Switch. I think the range is something like 2 hours to 6.5 hours, which, I mean, I do not believe that to be good. I understand that this is sort of a problem with battery-operated devices in general, but I'd rather just have a home console that actually kind of has a little bit of bones on it. At that price, I'll just buy a Steam Deck. And the odds of me purchasing a Steam Deck, at least new, are like, not great. Actually, I'm going to take a quick look at what the prices are on a Steam Deck. Okay, yeah, so for it's $400 for a 256 gig LCD Steam Deck. And a half a terabyte OLED is $550, which is still quite bad. I mean, there's plenty of stuff you could play on the Steam Deck. It would help if I could see more of like what's in my library from this landing, as opposed to just, oh, here's the most played. I do not care about Dave the Diver. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, Balatro, but like, I have Balatro on the Switch also. So if that didn't work on the Steam Deck, that'd be fucked. Oh, Hades. Oh, Vampire Survivor. Look at all these. Look at all these indie games, which should run on it. It can run Baldur's Gate 3. It can run Elden Ring. So that kind of tells you that it has at least some muscle behind it. Meanwhile, I mean, how good is the Switch 2 going to end up being? I can't actually say much on that one. So you know, I'm still just kind of imagining that it's not going to keep up with other main consoles at the time. But regardless, the point here just kind of boils down to, yeah, unimpressed with the state of the Switch 2 launch that they're putting forward at this point, and also this is not a good economic time, I think, for a lot of people to be grabbing a $450 console that has games that cost $80 plus each. And especially plus if you want to actually own them. Because, yet again, of course, the other thing with it is that it feels like a lot of things related to the Switch 2 and this idea of, like, the key code card thing, which, I mean, that already existed to begin with. That's just code in a box. But the way that they're projecting it kind of makes it sound like if something has downloads, you have to have bought the game new in order to receive those. And I'm not sure if that's like being communicated properly or whatever, which, I mean, God, I hope that's not the case. But even if so, it's like, hey, yeah, you guys are really trying to do this used games boogeyman thing again, right? Like, seriously? I don't know, maybe if you guys put some effort into advertising some of these games or anything, maybe it might help with some of them. Or give people a real incentive to buy games new, instead of punishing them for not. There's something that I think people should be learning at this point, which is that incentives are what work, not punishment. This is also a statement on tariffs, but I digress. God, everyone here is stupid. On the other hand, I do at least appreciate sort of the plot that they're going here, which is that, you know, again, these guys are trying to restore a royal family and this idea of like fated heroes and shit, but you know, our side kind of proves that things are better without royalty and without any of this divine right kind of horse shit, but like, I don't think they're doing it well. Wow, who could imagine that they're floundering at a plot point like this? Nintendo or the Pokemon franchise or anything of that nature. They can't keep that stuff together for Fire Emblem, but wait, anyway. Actually, speaking of Fire Emblem, hey, shoutouts to us not getting remakes of the old games, which, I mean, maybe part of that is like they can't figure out a way to shoehorn in a create your own OC, do not steal to them, so they did at least announce, and I do like this, that the Switch 2 is looking to have GameCube emulation for Switch Online, presumably through the expansion pack, because obviously they can charge you out the nose for things like that, which is a good thing that I am happy about, with obviously all the asterisks assigned of like, hey, yeah, fuck the Switch 2, I don't care about it until it becomes affordable. Excuse me. Until it becomes affordable, but holy shit, that was a lot of damage. But my point that I am trying to get around to here is just like, guys, We kind of don't really know 100% how that's going to go right now, and as much as I appreciate that, again, let us not forget the quality, and I'm saying this with some very large air quotes, of the inbuilt emulators from the Switch Online expansion pack for the N64 when that came out. Because, yeah, that wasn't great. And yes, I will absolutely keep riding this one for quite a while. Because, yeah, they probably should be embarrassed by that. But also, it's Nintendo, they know no shame. So, I'm kind of curious as to what sort of quality, and I use the term very loosely here, the GameCube emulation is going to end up presenting to us. Because it could be fine. It could be quite mediocre at outset and get better later. It could be absolute fucking dog shit. There's a part of me that would be a little bit surprised if they didn't just let... I'll be honest with you, there's this weird part of the back of my brain that's like, they're just going to download a version of Dolphin and use that. Because remember that there were a couple of the games where they just seem to have gotten the ROM files from elsewhere online. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised about them using other people's work with minimal attribution for things that they think they wouldn't need to. Or would not want to publicly acknowledge because it would make them look bad. Which, if people who didn't know about Dolphin were suddenly made aware of it, as Nintendo was releasing an official emulation solution that was using it, people might not give them money. So, yeah. But Dolphin works very well. So, there are GameCube emulators that work, and it seems to be a much more readily emulatable console than N64. So, credit where that's due, at least. I can certainly say that it's a thing that could end up not sucking. But, again, it's Nintendo. Their quality assurance is extremely variable, let's just say. You can be assured of one thing, though, that they are absolute corporate hookers. Which feels a little bit mean to say because, you know, hookers actually work pretty fucking hard, but I digress. Point here is, yeah, my hopes for it are a little higher than they should have been for the N64. I'll say that. But on the other hand, I really shouldn't say how bad can they fuck it up, because let me tell you, that's a good way to, well, discover new and impressive ways in which that could happen. I legitimately do not know why you did that, Shielbert. You are being really stupid with this Big Zam. What is wrong with you? Oh, right, because He's that convinced of his own. It's almost like every single villain in this game is just a smug asshole who is overly convinced of their own self-importance. And by that, I do include Hop, because you saw how he performed in that double battle with Swordward and Shieldbert. Because, yeah, yeesh. That's all I can say here is yeesh. I mean, yeah. It took a very long time for him to not be so completely full of himself, but he did eventually, to be entirely fair. So yeah, I'm just going for sheer audacity here because, again, it's going to prevent me from capturing if I even try. I'm going to, yeah. Which is kind of odd. I don't think they have a good excuse here for why you can't capture Zamazenta, other than the fact that it's not the weird dog on your particular video game packaging. Like, they don't really explain why the Minovsky particles are the things that block your Pokeballs, which I assume is supposed to be what the deal here is. Is that, like, okay, he overloaded it with funny radiation, and that made it uncatchable. Like, at least I think it's quite cleanly stated, for example, in Black 2, White 2, which, admittedly, I haven't played those in about a decade, but I believe it's very clearly stated that the reason why you can't catch the fused Kyurem in that case is because Ghetsis is, like, emitting some sort of radio signal from his scepter, which is not some sort of innuendo in this case, and that makes your Pokeballs stop working. Which, I mean, that's profoundly silly, but okay, it's a reason at least. Kick him in the nards. Oh, all right. Fine. That's right. It's an E-rated game. Funny dog. Come with us. God, I love Legit Gaming Leaks. What a fantastic feed. Okay, so just out of tradition, we're gonna save, but we are just gonna Master Ball this thing. So, like, Oh, apparently we catch it with the rusted sword. Oh no, that's not what it means, but it seemed like it for a second. So you give Zacian its funny sword, and it turns into full Knife Dog mode. Which is an absolute bastard to fight. But we don't care about that. We're just here to round out the game. And you know what? I'm not even giving this one a funny nickname, even though I was tempted. It is still sort of a, almost like a character in and of itself. So, if it was Shield, though, I probably would have nicknamed it Big Zam, so never mind. I'm just messing with you. Ah, yes, what a sublime battle where you just threw a Master Ball and that's it. It's like, I really don't want to be involved with this anymore, but here's my card. Well, we got our weird dog. Oh, did you get bit in your face or something, Hop? I don't know. Ah, he's in the slumbering weald. Are they gonna make me use Zacian for this fight? Zachary? I don't know. Zachary is the phone autocorrect version of Zacian. Continues trying to find new and silly ways to refer to this dog. Jim, I don't know. Oh, Booerns. Alright, now fly back to Postwick, or Poswick as you would say it in British English, because that's just the name of a real town. I brought that up earlier, so. But we're this late in, I think I'm allowed to run out of trivia. I'm also allowed to run into this goofy bug occasionally, because, yeah. Yeah, no, Zacian, there we go. Zacian has no gender, interestingly enough. Or, pardon me, it's gender unknown, which... I mean, I guess? Question mark? I don't know. Oh, huh. Its EV drops are all speed, despite the fact that it's much more of a physically oriented. At least it is in its enhanced form. Zacian. I've seen... I'm pretty sure I've heard Zacian and Zacian from people, but my brain is like, it is very openly derived from the word cyan, right? Because it fits with Zamazenta being from magenta, and the fact that they're red and blue. The inverse of respectively. So there's part of me that's like, I kind of want to pronounce it in a way that makes sense with that, but all all possibilities there are absolutely tortured. Hop, you might want to at least give it a little bit more range, because I gotta imagine that even if it is just a capture and most of those do involve a little bit of bonk, that's gotta be a little intense. Come on, don't be mean to the dog. Anyway, he wants to battle us again because, of course, we've got to have one more excuse to show off Zamazenta's enhanced form. I mean, he's going to have his legendary at the end of it, so... Otherwise, I'm sure this will be fine. He's going to have the big bird, though, which I don't have a great answer for. Huh, that's... It's interesting that it, like, hops around like that for some reason. That's... weird how that ended up hashing out. And I've been about sending Cinderace. That's fine. I'm sure we'll evaporate this thing just as well as usual. Oh, he's actually faster than us, which, I mean, I guess makes sense for Cinderace. This could be painful. Yeah, that took us out in one. That's... I'm shocked, actually. That is remarkable. Ah, yes, Gunk Shot, an attack that would never hit for me. And of course, he outspeeds us with that thing, but... the Cinderace is made of chewing gum and prayers, so it dies in one hit anyway. About to send in Pincurchin. I'll just keep Roger Moore in for a second. And I'll just max revive my way out of this one. That's fine. We knew that was going to happen. Huh, that's odd. So only one dog has any... Huh, that's weird. And now he's about to send in Snorlax, which we might not be able to one-shot with Build-A-Brawl, but we're going to give it a shot. Again, try to preserve a couple of good Pokemon for dealing with the Legendary. Hop, shut up! Nobody cares about your life story. Nobody cares about you, period. You have 2 normal types on your team, dude. You are nothing. Get out of my way. Anyway, yeah, his Snorlax got exploded. And he's about to send in... Again, the only Pokemon I don't have a great answer for on his team. In fact, this one actually does kind of, like, get as close to hard countering me as possible, but... You know... It's a real good Pokemon, so what do you expect? I will sit on his bird, asterisk, and I will just boost for a bit. Depending, admittedly, rather heavily on how much I'm allowed to, because... Well, he's got the good sense to not be using Brave Bird. Oh, his Drill Peck does nothing. Oh, wow, that was a crit, dude? You're joking me here, right? Like... Just max out, I guess, and hey, nice job, you fool. I would become, by and large, a danger to myself more than anything with that, but that would be to be expected, I suppose. Yeah, okay, go ahead and use Worst Confuse Ray. And again, especially Worst Confuse Ray, because at some point, Confusion was nerfed. Oh, never mind. Again, I'm doing more damage to myself than he is to me. So, like... What do you want me to say here? And with this level of boosting, Power Trip is as strong as V-Create. I just have to stop hitting myself in the face. I might need to actually heal, but I think I can possibly... I'm gonna gamble on this one. Yeah, see? There we go. It was worth taking the risk, and he didn't die. That's a shock. But if you want to go ahead and do that, dude, you go ahead and heal. Use your full restore, because you're a final trainer, basically, in a Pokemon game. Or one of the last, anyway. So... we'll just do this, and we can sit here and... You can spam heals if you feel like it. But instead, we'll go for a Power Trip, and... somehow still not land a one-hit kill, but... Again, this is a fairly stout bird. I'm gonna Hone Claws again, just to make sure that I'm, like, really buffed up. Because, again, he's bringing out his legendary after this. I am going to fight it with my bird. Because we're at +5 on our attack, so... like... this thing is gonna get 8. Oh, never mind. Our attack is maxed out. Although, again, now we have to get through all the gauntlet of coin flips. And by coin flips, I mean... it's a 1 in 3 chance, I'm pretty sure. And... that still means that it's not in my favor because, hey, XCOM numbers. Let me go ahead and double check, actually. Okay, yeah, as of Gen 7, Confusion was nerfed to being a 1 in 3 chance for your Pokemon to deal damage to itself. Because I guess it was considered too annoying or something. And yeah, he's buffing his defense. Oh, right, he's Steel Fighting, which is not an ideal type combination for me to deal with, to say the least. Plus, he's boosted, so this could take a couple of hits. Especially depending on what our luck is. Oh, hey, not even a guaranteed two-shot, it looks like. That kind of upsets me a little bit on some level, but oh well. And we hit ourselves in our confusion. It's alright, I can fix that. It's called hoping that it wears off next turn, but... yeah, taking a defense drop, again, means that we continue to be our largest danger to ourselves, really, but we take more damage. It's alright, if we don't get the kill before we die, I mean, we can just... we have plenty of options, is my point here. But, yeah, he's only got one full restore now, I guess. So, hey. Hop, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, is it too late to rename him Scud, the Disposable Assassin? Because that's sort of what happened here. Wait. Well, we got another rare league card, I guess. Also, these guys are still here and not under arrest while the actual champion is here, but... you know, Pokemon League stuff in this universe is strictly sports, so... I mean, I use the twigs all the time in OOT Rando. I mean, yeah, we're... and honestly, at this point, also, it's because, like, well, what else is there to do? We could go and fight all the raids that are hanging out in the big field. What an absolute dork. His posing just automatically plays a sound too, so like... do you think that he's got some sort of like sound box there that just like every time he does that he just like covertly presses that way it makes that explosion sound? Anyway, hooray, we beat the game. That was a video game, alright. Oh yeah, there's a battle tower in this game. That exists. I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure the encounter charts are the same despite any potential implication that statement might have had. But not really. Young Frankenstein? Yes, I have seen Young Frankenstein. Absolutely. It's been a few years because do we even have a copy in the house anymore? If we do, it's only on we only have a VHS copy, I'm pretty sure. So I would need to dig that out and just put it in my VCR. But yeah, for Frau Blucher, I was thinking that when you started saying it, because yeah. Anyhow, we spent like half of the stream time on this. Let's go and take a look and see if there's any raids, and I guess if there's interesting Pokemon, I'll catch them. Not that I necessarily need anything from this for a living Pokedex, I don't think. Because I'm sort of trying to store one of those in Pokemon Home, even though the odds of me actually coming back to pick that up at any point are quite low. And also, you know, I'm not exactly going to be playing Gen 10 anytime soon. Even if they were to, like, announce that tomorrow. Because that would probably be a Switch 2 exclusive, and no, as we've already discussed. Yeah, I almost said Marty Friedman, pardon me. Marty Feldman was absolutely a fantastic comedian and very good at improvising stuff like that. Marty Friedman is someone else entirely. Marty Friedman is a former second guitarist for Megadeth. And by second, I mean, let's be honest here, Dave Mustaine was the second guitarist in Megadeth all times, but I digress. Anyway. Oh, hi, Oddish that's sticking out. Anyway, yes. Igor, and the hump switching sides, just very good all around. What a fantastic movie. I haven't seen that in a while, though. As I've alluded to, I very recently actually remembered to order a copy of Rocky Horror because at some point we got rid of our VHS copy of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't entirely know why, other than the fact that we didn't really have a whole lot of access to functioning VCRs in the house. Yet my mom kept all the Doctor Who and the Monty Python's Flying Circus and stuff, so otherwise, I don't watch a lot of movies, to be honest with you. So it's probably a little bit of a miracle that I've seen Young Frankenstein, for that matter. But there's a couple that are sort of on my list of things to pick up, and I do own a very small number of them. Like, I own a copy of Phantom of the Paradise. I'll very soon own a copy of Rocky Horror. I have a VHS copy of Pink Floyd's The Wall, which I bought it on VHS originally because I was going to do something with it, and then I never did, and I completely rebooted that channel. Because, yeah, I was not pleased with how I was doing for that. So, But hey, now I have a copy of it on VHS. So I can watch it in VHS quality if I want to. I also meant recently to go look for a copy of The Holy Mountain, directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky. Pardon me, I pronounced that last name incorrectly because he is of a more Central American origin than that. That would be Jodorowsky, I believe. Don't take my word for it, though. I'm not an expert in this, but yeah. Very interesting, kind of weird movie. A little bit infamous for being a weird one, but yeah. So I went to go look for it, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I'll go find a cheap copy on eBay instead of ordering one on Amazon and not ordering anything else," because unfortunately, that a new copy of it is like $19, and it's not that $19 is necessarily that expensive, although It is 2025, and for a DVD, because I'm not a huge, like, person who's concerned with Blu-ray, $19 for a DVD seems a little bit, you know. Blu-ray would be fine, though. I'm pretty sure I can play a Blu-ray. I've got to be able to do that, right? Like, I can use my PS3 if nothing else. But, yeah, so $19 is a fine price for a Blu-ray, but that's also like, hey, I would rather get free shipping on that. So the odds are good that I'll just wait until somebody else decides to order something and be like, yeah, okay, can we throw this in too? And yeah, so I also looked for a copy on eBay, which was the part that I was getting around to, and perhaps unsurprisingly, or maybe entirely surprisingly, I could not find a used copy of this film on eBay. And like most of the new copies were unsurprisingly going for about $19, which is about what the other copies were going for off of. So what would even be the difference? Whatever, I'll get it at some point. And again, double check about Young Frankenstein, a couple other things. Anyhow, yeah. I don't watch a lot of movies. That's the entire, like, whole of this section. I have little else to say on the matter, just I don't watch a whole lot of movies, and I couldn't tell you exactly why I never got too much into film, but I didn't. Instead, I play video games and become incredibly disappointed with every single one of their stories. Because... well, because of a lot of reasons, to be honest with you, but the big one is that because a lot of them are disappointing. Oh god, that fog is bright as hell. Oh, my eyes. Just get the watts fast and get the fuck out. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing on Friday just yet. It might be starting up a new randomizer, but I'll figure it out before I stream, that's for sure. Thursday, I am most likely playing more Balatro and continuing to work on that Completionist Plus. I am at, like, more than 130 out of 150, so there's only not even 20 Jokers left to get, which means that I am going to have absolutely dismal luck finding any of them. I had pretty good luck earlier today, almost, because I had a run where I got one of the Jokers that I was missing the gold stamp for. I got Midas Mask, which is one that whenever you play a face card, it turns into a gold card. It's decently strong with the right build, and I actually almost had pretty close to the build that I would want for it, but I just didn't scale up hard enough in order to actually beat the final boss. So I came up a little short there, and I was very unhappy, because I have not had good luck with that whatsoever. And a big part of it is that gold cards don't actually help your score whatsoever. So, all right, the Joker is there, and it's a slot to take an enhancement, right? To take an addition, and in the case where I'm getting it first, it is a perfectly acceptable Joker slot to take up the Polychrome from that, because I've mostly been doing this through the Ghost deck, because it seems like it's actually kind of one of the strongest for these purposes. But that's about all it does score-wise. It gets you money, but that only goes so far unless you get one of the Jokers that specifically lets you benefit off of the fact that you have lots of money. And I did not. I had one of them, but it just wasn't doing enough. So, oh well. That one's a real pain in the ass. Now, if I had also seen it with Vampire and Pareidolia, I would have been absolutely set. I would just have to keep playing things that specifically were 5-card hands, basically, to optimize the scaling, but it would still work. Unfortunately, no such luck. The game is mean, and it's one of those games, just like a lot of the other roguelike style games, where it sounds great until you start going for 100%. And going for like 100% and doing all the challenges for a lot of games, that will often completely, well, significantly reduce anyway your enjoyment in the long run. I haven't been keeping track of how much energy I've picked up here. How many watts? No, that's just a cutie fly. I was like, is that something that's weirdly yellow and shouldn't be? It was not. Had to accept Twitch's terms to turn me into an AI. The unfortunate thing is I can't tell, like, how much of this is a joke, because, like, yeah, Twitch dot thing that's owned by Amazon. Listen, I assume that I just have no rights by existing on this platform whatsoever, and, like, if they want to, they can come into my house while I'm sleeping and kill me, right? That's how that works. That's how existing in a world of corporations works at all, right? To think, we had the, like, whole genres that were dedicated to doing things like this, and we pissed them all away by handing them over to corporations. Why is a company as big as CD Projekt Red making the game that literally is called Cyberpunk, right? What do you mean ruined? This is... well... it's any content I've made whatsoever, so it's probably about all at the same level of quality, which is to say, probably not very much, but, like, I do try, which is more than I can say about a lot of people. You ever just log into a stream and, like, everybody is in the chat just, like, dumping massive amounts of PogChamps, and the streamer is just spouting dumb catchphrases that don't make any sense? Oh, hey, look, it's OS Komodo. Wait. I think that was what the emote originally was that uses that graphic. Because, of course, now, due to the PogChamp guy being, Well, personally, I want to start off this bit by saying I think it's very funny to call the PogChamp guy the PogChamp guy, because apparently he did not like the idea of being known as the PogChamp guy, despite being the PogChamp guy. And also, more to the point, the fact that he turned out to be a racist scumbag, right? Like, what a fucker. So, anyway, it's very funny to be like, didn't see your redemption. I did not. So, whatever it was, good job. Anyway, I'm just going to assume that that was a really funny redeem and that I just am completely clueless. So, yeah, no, I'm busy making fun of this dude because, like, the PogChamp guy deserves to be made fun of. And now this is the only thing that he will ever be known for, aside from being a miserable racist shit stain. Hey, we're outspeeding the Salazzle, by the way. That feels kind of good in a weird way. Like, fuck that thing. At bare minimum, I'm hoping that, like, we can at least do some very good damage to this. Hey, it's paralyzed. That's pretty good. Yeah, hit it. Oh my god, this Mudbray is useless, I guess. Oh, no, it's shielding again. Awesome. So I think we still have a shot to do another Max Quake. Oh, that's almost unfortunate because that Salazzle might have been able to deal damage. Kinda. I don't want to say, wow, it really is a shame that that Salazzle died, but like... Oh yeah, sure, it'll roll paralyzed for the other move, but meh. Anyway. This Pikachu. Like, seriously, that's what you're gonna do? Is you're gonna... Ouch. God, this thing is using so many ground-type moves for a steel-type. That's like all it knows how to do, apparently, is not actually be steel-type, eat hot chip, and lie. Now, unfortunately, I can't really Earthquake here anymore because, like, that'll just kill my entire party. Because, rather stupidly, this is a thing. Yeah, as much as the mechanics here are better than they were in the Gen 9 raids, there's still some absolutely brain-dead design here. Like, why? Why does your Earthquake hit everybody? Ooh, wow, that... Hey, Mudbray actually does damage. I'm shocked. Probably because last time it just bonked, basically. Whatever, I'm just gonna throw a random Pokeball at this thing. And truth be told, only because it's Gigantamax. But yeah, like none of the Pokeballs actually look good for Copperajah or for Cufant. Coffant. However we want to pronounce its name. Worse Elephant. There we go. No nickname for this because we're already done. These things are just things that are going to get dumped into my Pokemon Home and, like, I don't know, maybe I'll try to GTS them for various junk. If the game will permit me to. Hey, what if I just put every Pokemon that I ever caught up for, like, a Reshiram level 9 or lower? Actually, there's a certain humor to that particular trend on the GTS, because at one point, Nintendo did give out an event that gave you access to Dialga or Palkia at level 1, because of reasons. So technically, you could take that and go on the GTS and get all those get one of those garbage Pokemon from somebody in exchange for the Pokemon that you had to get Arceus over there for. Arceus or Arceus, if you prefer. And around here we do, mostly because it bothers people to hear me pronounce it wrong when I'm doing the English-speaking thing. And it's only wrong because somebody at Nintendo of America probably saw that one bit of House MD and was like, I don't think that's very funny, guys. You know, like some kind of a fucking loser. Oh, hey, look, it's Hawlucha. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and fight this thing. Why not? Oh, hey, speaking of Hawlucha, we've got one in our party right now. Yeah. Oh no, Heatmore got completely, like, obliterated. Because this thing is rude. Oh wow, the Magikarp lived, but we get to hear its low health beep because, yeah. Yeah, let's throw the friend ball at this, I guess, just because it looks like it might look neat with that. Where is... There we go. It's like kind of the inverse color scheme, but yeah. Because I know that these can fail. Because this game is really mean. But yeah. We caught the funny bird. Yay. I'll walk away from this because meh, I just want the points. But oh, I lost them. I thought you could just run away from that fight and claim the, but I guess not. Oh well. Just have to live with the indignity of something or other. Oh good, the fishing spot disappeared. It's okay, we fished like... I think we fished like all of once in this game, and... I have very rarely fished, because I think in this game, it is just very likely for those fishing spots to disappear when you get close on the bike, which is a bit of a problem when you have to use the thing to surf. This isn't ideal game design, to put it nicely. Wow, good rotation there, game. That's... Oh, whoops, just bumped into a random Rhyhorn again. That's alright, get this guy out of here. Get this thing out of here, too. Eesh. Oh, hey, look at all these choodles that are hanging out in the area. Oh, hey, there's the hat Pokemon. Oh, hey, it's that elephant we just fought earlier. Water ice. That is a type that I don't like very much. It is, of course, the souped up Lapras. Let's see if we can get anywhere with this. If we can't, oh well. But at least we're gonna try. I mean, this thing does have a really strong Gigantamax move. Because it's one that casts both barriers on it. By that, I mean Reflect and Light Screen. There we go. It has a move that casts dual screens on itself. As its Gigantamax move for Ice type, I believe, so... And yeah, there you go. There's its Aurora Veil. As it just immediately gets a kill on something. And I mean, part of that is just bad RNG, but also this is genuinely not an easy fight anyway, so... Especially not with the kind of stats that I'm swinging here, which are not very good. Good. I'm real glad for that stat purge. Fuck. What? I didn't see what move that was, but also, hey, yeah, another thing's dead. Wow. Great. Well, at least we got through the barrier phase, but of course there's another one of those to worry about. Hey, wow, it actually didn't... you know, choose the ideal target this time, which is quite rare for one of these raids, it feels like. It's using Icy Wind, isn't it? And it's making that noise because it hits all of those Pokemon, and some of them are taking super effective damage from it. And it purged our buffs again. Good. I'm so glad. And hey, look. Dhelmise is just dead instantly because this thing is somehow the fastest thing in the entire raid. Which means we must be slow as hell. But yeah, I didn't think that was going to get anywhere. I didn't think it was going to, like, die that easily on our part, but... Yeesh. Yeah, no, I am not set up to deal with that. I'm not set up to deal with most of these. But of course, these are meant to be, like, handled with human players. And not just because they give you garbage partners to encourage using human players, but also so that way you can have someone carry you when you're low level, but 6-year-old game, you can't really expect that to be a thing, especially not in a series like this where they just keep re-updating things with new games almost every year for a little while there, until they realized that was untenable. Anyway, it's looking like that's the only other raid here for us to deal with. Otherwise, we could just wait for more of them to respawn, but that doesn't sound like an enjoyable process. And besides, we've already beaten the game anyway, so I'm basically free at this point. I'm just gonna go and find a place and save and say that this will be it until I decide to go play the DLC. After which point, I will probably have transferred all my Pokemon from this cartridge onto my Pokemon Home, and maybe I'll have picked up something back to have actual Pokemon for when I deal with that DLC. And yeah, it's a short stream, I know, but I think that this is going to be where I end just because I don't know that I have a lot of time to really get into something new here. And I'd like to relax, and also it is really, really hot and sweaty in here, so stopping streaming would probably be a good idea so that way I can at least give that part of my computer a chance to relax.